Well, I got back from my trip now. I went to northern Samar for a week. I made a video while I was there. If you like to, you can go watch that. I was sitting out there. We went for a fishing trip. There's a big festival going on in my wife's area, and her nephew was getting Christian, so we thought we'd take a trip there. We spent 7 days, and only spent 9,000 pesos while we're there. It cost me 3,500 pesos to get there and 4,000 pesos to get back. So not bad price. That was the good part. Now I'm not going to make this a negative video, but the bad part was it took 36 hours to get home and 19 hours to get back. And when I was not trying to get back, they said there was no available bus until June the 8th. I had to be back by the 28th. Try to leave on the 27th. We're going to thing, but that's when they told us we couldn't have it. So I waited to the 28th, and no buses. I tried to see if somebody had a vacant seat. Then the 29th came, still no empty buses. So we decided no matter what, in the Philippines they call it fast casting. In America we call it wildcatting, where you just take off and go and find a way as you go. We got on the ferry. I have a video of that I'm going to put in here, and just roll to the other side. On the other side we found a van. And if you ever seen these videos about foreigners sneaking into America by what's called coyotes, and they got them in these little trucks and they got them sardine in, well, that's what that was like. Took us 19 hours to get here. So we made it here. I hope you liked the video. After the video, I'm going to make a few videos of sunset, stuff like that. If you like to watch it, just keep on after a few pictures I took. It's not going to be in the video itself. And at the end of the video, I'm going to also talk about my new podcast I'm going to start here in about a month. Man, I was so tired getting here. 36 hours on the bus. Couldn't sleep because kept rocking back and forth. Now, the ferry is covered on the bus fare, but they still hit you with entry fee, boarding fee, and that. Now, this here is the Bahia Volcano. We passed about 4 active volcanoes coming here. Now, they're not floating or nothing like that. But also, when we were coming back, we got a warning on our phone that the Tahiti volcano was exploding. That was actually closer to our house. 2-hour ride, and once you get there, you have to take a trike and a bus. They don't have jeepneys there. Now, if you take the trike at get off the ferry, it's 400 pesos to ride. So take another one. I am now looking for fishing equipment, and guess what? They don't have any in this town. You literally have to buy everything online now. The town is small. This is Allen. It's got a population of 30,000. It actually has 2 decent restaurants in the place. One's called Hungry Harry, like the middle of my name, and the other one is called Ron's. Allen is the main hub for transportation coming from main hour of Luzon to going south in the Philippines. So the town is pretty busy. It's a tourist town, but it's really not. It's got a lot of resorts, but most of them are empty because they have an airport in the main city in northern Samar, but it only has a plane that arrives once a week. So tourism hasn't taken off yet, but I would say in about 10-15 years they will be a big tourist area. They have a lot of white sand beaches there, and Thing is, though, it'll be price going up once you get they get up, because right now it's pretty cheap there in the town. The resorts are pretty cheap too. That resort that I just showed you I was in was 900 pesos a day. That's for 2 people staying in a room, so 450 piece. Can't really beat that. This is the main square in Island. All the squares I notice in these cities have a giant church like that sitting there, and they usually have a lot of little food shops around. We stopped there because right now it's 95 degrees outside and feels like 115. Needed some shade. Now we're fishing at resort that we stayed at. Why not? Why not? Still not saying that right. But the water is way too shallow here. It's low tide. High tide's usually about midnight and on out. I'm using a popper here, a small jig, you know, trying to catch something, see if there's anything there. There was nothing. I mean, it's low tide. You have to get a boat pretty much to get out there. You can see the ferry that we came in on parked over there. This is the next morning. I was too tired to get up, and when we got there at 8 o'clock at night to try to go fishing. I'm still walking around trying to find a place to fish because we got a shelf there where it's hard to fish. Now, this is the port of Island, fish port, and it has quite a bit of great fish. And the water right here is about, I'll say 10 foot deep there. And as far as you go out, it gets deep. I noticed that all the fish ports pretty much is where the deep water is. I caught a small fish there. I have no idea what it is.
You keep what that?
Couldn't find any bait. So what I did is I went to the fish market and brought some shrimp. And that's what I was catching those on. And after a while, you know, I'm like, well, you know, how do I catch catfish and bass in America? I use bluegills. Later on, what I did is I brought a fish from these little boys that were fishing there. They were catching them for food. That's how they eat everything. Gave them 5 pesos for one fish and threw it out there. And to be honest, I got some hell of delicious bites. But these fishing reels, like what she's showing there that she has.
What you doing, Janet?
I got those from my dad. He passed away. Now when she has the little kid rod. But the reels I got, they're almost 60 years old. I don't know if they got any antique value to them, but I made sure that they were all lubed up, new line on it. But they're late reels. And I had 3 good bites when I was down here. Just 3, that's all. And I couldn't get them off the bottom. I had no idea what they were. I seen one, and my wife said it was a milkfish. I don't know what the name would be, the real name and stuff, but it looked like a tuna, but a lot more shinier. Could have been that. But the last hit I had, it took my cork down. I didn't even notice. I wasn't paying attention. Some little boy, 10 years old, running over saying something. This is the town of La Basaris. It was population 24,000. I didn't go fishing this day. It was my plan, but my wife's family decided they wanted to go swimming, so we did that. I walked up and down this area trying to find also a place to fish. You know, the water was great, as you see, but yeah, there was no deep area to go fishing at except the fish port. The fish port's where we'll end up here in a little bit. Now, this town here don't have no restaurant. It has food stands. Here's the fish port. The fish port is pretty long here. The other one was pretty short. This is a long one,
He
but
said
you can see
you
there's
can
no
do
big
fishing
ferry
here, but
boats, nothing
it's
like
a
that.
little bit hard to
It's
catch the fish
transportation
because there
boats
are
will
more
take you
boats.
to many different islands. You say what
There
island
are
you want
fish
to. You
right
go up
down
there
there,
just like
but
on the booth at the ferry
mm,
place, and you pay and you get on the ride. Now, I didn't think about this till I got back. I could have probably ridden one of those for a day. Maybe cost me 1,000 pesos and took me out to deep water and go fishing all day, which I'll probably do if I go back. Well, I know I will go back because my wife's family is all around from this area here. There ain't much to see here, but it's deep. Now, they have a lot of what you call tourist areas right in there too, but I really like uh, this town here. It had a lot of lots for sale. We actually heard of a house here that was uh,
hmm,
for 6,000 pesos
where are you
out in
going?
house and lot.
Crazy.
So
Going
less than a
crazy.
million pesos, you can buy a lot in
This
the
is
Philippines. Well, around
the
this area,
Visaris, the
depending on what
Visaris
town. You
fish
know,
port.
the next town we'll go
There
to
is
from here,
bangka dyan.
we were going to buy a
Boat.
house on the lake uh, lot and everything. I mean, not the lake, but on the bay area, where you walk out the back door and you got a patio that goes out into the ocean.
Hey, walk, walk.
Uh, and it was 7,000 pesos, 7,100. Let me say that again, 700,000 pesos. This is the town of La Basares. Uh, it was population 24,000. I didn't go fishing this day. Was my place here is called Altaneta. It's a very small village. This is actually the hometown of my wife's mom and dad, where you've seen the yellow and that's the main restaurant there. And the blue strip was the tourist area that's in here. Now, this town here has a population around 2,000 people. First of all, let me say the reason why I'm doing a voiceover is I didn't carry my a selfie stick, so I couldn't get my face in there. And second of all, I was out of breath from walking for so long that I could probably talk. But anyway, this place here has no middle-aged people. Everybody here is above 50 years of age or below 20. Uh, Except for those few that didn't go to college or school, didn't make it out of there. What I have discerned from this place was that most of the children, once they get out of college, high school, depending if they're very rich, they go to college. Either there's two little small colleges there that around 9,000. I mean, uh, 900 pesos a day to go, which is very cheap. But the rich families, they send their kids off to Manila to the better schools, which, goes off. And there is quite a few rich people in there, but mostly poor. This town here probably has about 12 streets to it. You already have the festival here. Taking a little walk around, you can see the streets are all paved for a small village. These guys waving at me. They're having pig roast. The 2,000 people, like I said, lives in this town, but there's only about 300 homes. So gives you an idea that about each person has about 6 to 8 kids per home. Families living there, and the richer people live in town. The poorer people live outside of town, and it's community land. They nobody owns the land, but a lot of people build a house on there. This is where my in-laws live at. My wife, pretty much the entire town is related to my wife. Uh, the main grocery store in town is belongs to her aunt. Her grandmother has a house, and her uncle has a very big house there. Uh, so it's a really nice town. There's a lot of lots here for sale. There was also a house here that was for sale for $650,000, sitting right there on this area going down here. I was going to buy it, but somebody went behind my back and tried to buy it. Then I found out that later they didn't have the money to buy it. You know, 650,000 ain't a lot of money, but for this town that you average about 3,000, it is. Now, this is the main church. This is where the festival's going to start off at. A lot of people are lined up waiting for it. Also, they're going to have a big christening there. Now, like I said, they say the population is 2,000 in 2020 when they took it, but I imagine it's a lot more because during the christening of this festival, there was over 300 children in there. Here's some of the ladies that ran for the beauty contest. You can see the beauty of the Philippines here in the faces of these girls. Most of them around 18 to 20 years old. Very cute girl there. The festival was, the parade was very small. It wasn't very long. I'll do a video here in a second about it. That girl there looks like she's very happy. It's hot today. Today is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. With the humidity in the air, it probably what feels like 110. If you notice, you see my hair, it's all straight and stringly. It can't stop sweating. Now, this is the festival of Saint Rogue. He was a patron saint in the 12th century, known for healing people with diseases and cripples. Every village has a festival. Actually, when we first got there, somebody asked me to go to their town, their festival. I didn't know them. It was a man and woman just appeared up to me. I decided not to because I didn't really know them. They weren't part of my wife's family. A lot of the people in this festival, this fair here, are related to my wife. I'm not for sure who won the pageant. And this is like the younger generation. They're having their little thing there. Then they had some old ladies walking through. I'm not for sure what that spells out. And there's the patron saint, Saint Root. I didn't quite get it. Maybe it'll be on the next one. What I was doing, I was running from the street. Because like I said, there's only 12 streets. I would take a picture, and I knew they would come around. I would run around to the next street and come back and catch them again. And anyway, the patron saint of Saint Root, like I said, every place has one. The houses, some of the houses don't look good, and some of the houses look like what you would find on Florida in high dollar area. Kind of go a little slow here. They're hot. They're tired now. She don't want to walk. This old lady in the back. These three people in the front. They're my wife's cousins. That lady there was her school teacher with the black hair. And the guy in the blue is my, I guess, uncle-in-law, my father-in-law's brother. They have a little band at the end. There you see it there, Saint Rogue. And that's pretty much the festival. Well, I guess I actually took another one. This was from my wife's camera. Coming through one more time. Yeah, I guess if you notice, they're either extremely old or extremely young there. There's not too many middle-aged people. there's a few that came back. Matter of fact, when I got on the ferry, there was a lot of my wife's Janice's schoolmates coming back for the festival. And what they do here, they do what's called like a Thanksgiving, Halloween together. Everybody has a big dinner. I mean, every house is roasting a hog. They call luchine. And then they do something like Halloween where they do sharing. Everybody grabs a little sack and goes from house to house collecting food. And then those people come to their house collecting some food. You know, every country has their traditions. I don't get the idea myself of having statues and carrying around of people like of saints and stuff. Not how I was raised, but oh well. A few more shots of the contestants. Most of this here is called Altaneta. It's a very small village. This is actually the hometown. Now, here is the christening of the children from the Catholic Church. Counted about 200 children in there. Population never changes though, because once the children grow up, they move away, so it pretty much stays the same. This is the last video I'm going to make here, because after this we go to have dinner. I probably ate in about 7 people's houses. I was so full. But anyway, this is right here is my brother-in-law and his child being baptized. That is his wife, my wife, and pretty much some of their family. This is my mother-in-law's house and my sister-in-law. They're having a pig roast too. Like I said, everybody has a pig roast. They live on that free grade land there. They built a small hut. They run a sorry store. This is one of my family's richer family. She put me in a bad position there, asking me to give it my thought on everybody that was in the room. I have no idea, so I just say young, handsome, stuff like that. This is my wife's teacher's house from 2nd grade, I believe. This is a jackfruit in it there. As her house is very big, very nice. This is the outside and the back. She is almost 90. This is my niece. She's 16. This is her adopted mother. And this is one of my wife's grandmother. Well, I hope you liked the video. If you have, please put a like there and then hit that subscribe button. I am not monetized. You know, I'm not really worried about getting monetized. I make plenty of money off my Social Security and my pension, but it's nice to have more people on there. So anyway, about my podcast. My podcast is going to be about current events, covering all aspects of stuff, but it's not going to be a conservative. It's not going to be a liberal. It's going to be one person trying to make common sense of what's going on in the world. And maybe we'll have a dialect back and forth. I will do some live chats with my subscribers on the podcast. Anyway, I hope I see you there soon. Until my next video, which will be out in about 4 or 5 days, I'll talk to you then.